At the end of the 2018 season 5 years ago, compared to now, who was the best player at these three AFL clubs? I've done every other AFL club. These are the clubs I'm doing now. Kind of reverse order. So strap in. So at the end of the 2018 season, Adelaide were still hanging on to, a hope of making the finals in 2019 because they obviously made the grand final in 2017. 2018 wasn't a great year. It was an awful year for them, considering the hype they had. They brought in Bryce Gibbs. That didn't work out. Their best player back then, I was a big fan of Taylor Walker in that team. Jake Lever in that team was really good alongside Daniel Talia. I would say their best player probably was Rory Sloane because he was such a leader for them. And obviously Jordan Dawson is their best player right now. For the Brisbane Lions, I completely agree with that. Although I've said before in this post, they have a bias to midfielders. I do rate Charlie Cameron and Harris Andrews currently and back then. Obviously 2018 is when I believe Charlie Cameron went to the Brisbane Lions. But Lockie Neal, since he's come to the Lions, he's been phenomenal. And I believe he came at the end of the 2018 season. So, if you put it that way, then I guess. For Carlton, 2018, poor year for Carlton. Really poor year. Obviously, back then it was always poor. The best player now is probably Charlie Curnow. Although I do think Jacob Wiedering and Sam Walsh are up there. The best player back then? This is a pretty tough one. Cripps was leading. He was turning into that young leader. They still had Cade Simpson. They didn't have many good players, so it probably was Patrick Cripps. He was that shining light for them. But if you bag for these three teams, who was the best player for them? And this is the first time I've actually agreed with all six of, this category.